morning. We have Ari, we have Reliza, and myself, Crystal. Now, I've been just going. Sincerely apologize for not being able to bring to you Cop Chat for today. Should have been mentioned first thing. I'm very sorry about that. But they're unable to bring us a program today due to prior engagements. All right. So, yes, join us again next week, Thursday, same time, same place, for another edition of highly anticipated Cop Chat program. Good morning to all the police officers, the retired officers especially, who are listening right now. Hope that you're having yourself a wonderful day. And sorry to disappoint you this morning. Yeah, you're probably wondering. Now, you can call us at 457-9997, or you can WhatsApp us at 457-9994. You can also call us via WhatsApp. The same number. Now, this the next item on the agenda is very short to the point. I'm not too sure if it's sweet. Uh,
It's
it's
amusing for
it's
those who know.
it's it may be amusing. I don't know, but you know this guy. His alias is Tom Toom. Oh, I almost said
Tombstone, the legendary Tombstone,
Tombstone.
the legendary,
Tombstone.
the legendary.
Every time I hear Tombstone, I think Grenada. Jab jab. You know
Listen,
the song? Right. Anyways, story real short. Story really short. But his government name is Alistair Smith Millington. Uh, he's been convicted of several counts of deception in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's probably more popular than Maxi Priest right about now. But anyways, it says that he's turned his life around and Christian. No, that's excellent news. And he was mourning, didn't show up to court because he was mourning. You know what just struck me? I don't want to doubt anybody, but are you guys sure?
So
I'm
this,
sorry.
yeah, I totally
I
understand.
shouldn't.
I totally
I'm sorry.
understand
Oh, I get a memo.
why Crystal is amused. But the thing of it is that given his history does not cannot completely erase our perceptions or our thoughts at this time. All right.
Especially about this.
Yes, and I think when I read this story, the weirdest thing to me was like, okay, so what does him being a Christian and being in mourning have to do with him not showing up to court? I really couldn't understand it, and maybe somebody would have to explain to me. But um, why couldn't you turn up to court?
he was mourning.
But is that a reason to not turn up to court?
There are many reasons to not turn up to court. It's then up to the officers of the court if they want to accept these reasons and it's your summons and all these things. My thing is, I am going to give Tombstone the benefit of the doubt because prison is a place where we're supposed to where he was supposed to be reformed and come out.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
There are
Come-
opportunities. There are
there are
opportunities.
opportunities for him to be an
Yeah.
upstanding member of society. Now, my problem is he's had a lot of opportunities to become an upstanding member of society. It's only because Tombstone was quote unquote famous, locally famous, around the time where social media wasn't as prevalent as it was today. Because if Tombstone, with the scams that he has successfully and well, he's been in front of the court a number of times, so unsuccessfully at times, committed. I'm pretty sure you can do a series based on Tombstones.
I'll be very honest. When I first heard of him and heard of his stories, and it's not again as it's the case with Maxi Priest. You're not necessarily trying to glamorize these persons. But I honestly used to say that I wish that he could write a book of his exploits.
Oh, we laugh. That's what they
Because
do in the first world countries.
yeah,
That's
but
what they
yeah,
do.
but because I just found them so intriguing.
You
know,
found them
so
intriguing.
No, but
intriguing. No, but
look at
it
look at
is.
these books and the like 50 Cent. Look at 50 Cent's life. He came out, he wrote a book about it. It was a lot of violence, gun violence, gang violence, a lot of violence. And now he's 50 Cent.
Yeah,
Mogul.
yeah, but it's just interesting, and maybe it would be like a warning for us who may fall for these type of scams, you know. But yeah, my forgiving heart tends to want to see the positive side and give people the benefits of the doubt. But in this case, I think I'm playing it right down the middle, where I am wanting to give him the benefits of the doubt. It is possible, yes, maybe he's reached the end of his rope, in the sense of he no longer wants to continue with that life or to be known by that type of character.
That's also true.
You know, so
Or
we
he's
need
found
to.
another way.
In his
Or maybe
defense,
he has, but I'm going
You defend him.
to be on that middle ground, right there
Me
on
too.
the fence,
me too.
and give him the benefit of the doubt. Let his actions prove it.
In
But knowing who he is,
Well,
be mindful.
in his
That's
Asterix.
it.
in his defense, this crime was allegedly committed October 12, 2021. We're in 2023.
but you know, it takes some time to go through the court too.
When I looked at the things that was stolen, I wonder if it's a bar he was going to open, because everything described it looked like it either
Allegedly.
came from a bar or was
He's
going
accused
to
of
open a
stealing.
bar.
He's accused of.
You know,
Yeah.
his some of his stories go back to 2014. I wish him all the best, but I think when you have stories like these where the offense is a pattern, where do we come in and say, okay, maybe we need a psychiatric evaluation here because this person keeps doing the same thing over and over? It's just like there's a term for people who keep stealing nonstop and they can't seem to control it. You call them a kleptomania or maniac.
Maniac.
But I think
Kleptomaniac.
there's a term for people who commit these scams because he's similar to that girl that got famous and had the Netflix series. Somewhere from Europe, and she moved to New York and started scamming a lot
I
of.
feel like I know that
Yes, it was
story.
a popular. It was a pop. God,
that's
I can't
sad
remember her
though.
name. But she became famous because there was a news article on her, a very lengthy news article on her, and then it later on developed into a Netflix
Yeah, and
series.
people out here can't doing the best they could in life and walking on the straight and narrow. Can't get a Netflix series. But anyways, such is
Because
life.
we know what the stories that are of more interest to us.
Our story is
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
And this morning we wake up and we came to work and we discussed the trending issues and issues affecting Vincent Jones today. That's not a Netflix series. Netflix
It could
series.
be. It could be.
Netflix
I wish
series
him all
is-
the best though.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best. But if this is another one, like a DJ Khaled, another one, it's just how they sit down and think of these things is just amazing to me. But don't get any ideas, guys. All right. So
speaking of
let's
crime,
let's go crime. Are we sticking on crime?
we're sticking on crime.
Where are we now? 41, 40?
I just higher than usual for sure.
Higher than
say-
usual.
I think it's
Yes.
at 40.
I think I remember when if it had hit 30, we would have been like, what is going on? Now it's
Listen, when it
the
got
gentleman-
to 5, I was like, what is going on? Because
Really?
it's no.
that was like what,
Five?
January, February?
Yeah,
5?
it's much. It's a lot.
But the record is 42 homicides for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are at, I believe it's 41
I
because
think
yesterday,
it's 41.
on the Leeward side, I think it's Camden Park.
Yeah. Where can I
Right?
find that story? It should be on WEFM.
And before that, we got to 40 when the gentleman who was shot in Kingstown died in the hospital. It turned into a murder investigation. So it says a murder investigation. So that was 40. But we are going to hit we are going to I don't think that there's enough space for me to be optimistic right now.
I don't even want to call it.
I don't want to, but realistically speaking, if you look at the trends from all the other years, we are at the end of September, we have October, November, December. Do you really think that our country can keep calm and we can have no more killings for the next 3 months? I don't think so.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
we have a caller this time. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hi, Crystal. How are you doing?
Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Yeah. Talking about this what these guys speak about crime and crime and crime. Are we really looking at all the factors in our society that contribute to all these criminal activities? Now, I have been around for a while, and I tell you, in my time growing up in St. Vincent and Grenadines, it never used to be like this. So I wonder if you guys were in my shoe, how you would feel, because this is just not acceptable. Our society has really gone to the dogs, as the people would say. Killing has become a norm in this country. I can say that killing has become a norm. Long time when somebody got murdered, everybody frightened. People used to be scared, but not anymore. And what bothers me is the younger people who are doing the job. So in spite of education revolution, all the progress things all the progressive things you're hearing about, an important an important aspect of our development is missing. And I believe it is young people who will have to answer to all of this. Because people like me, I am avoiding, I am trying to keep away, from those who I understand to be the criminal elements in our society. So the young people who have to deal with this here. I don't know how you guys, because when you're old, they have a thing about when you're old now, oh, you don't live your life and blah, 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 and so on. So this is a new trend that is coming from the younger guys, younger, people, so to speak. So, I could just sit down or look on as a spectator and listen to what is going on in this country. I don't know. You guys have the responsibility to come up. And sometimes when you hear some of the comments on radio, I'm appalled because the way they talk and so on, it doesn't make no sense to me. And, where the government is concerned, I mean, we were told that we'll be tough on crime and the causes of crime and all of that. But they seem not able or capable to deal with the crime situation in our country. So I don't know. Anyhow, I can only pray. I can only pray now for something better. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks, same to you.
If you don't mind, while we were here discussing it, Eyewitness News posted a GoFundMe for Dario Brown. So the family is seeking this family is fundraising for medical and surgery organized by a Keener George, but the GoFundMe link can be found on Eyewitness News. This is for Dario Brown, the motorcyclist who was injured in the collision at San Souci on Sunday. So they're looking for assistance from the public to help fund his medical bills.
Okay. All right.
So to a contribution here on the topic that we're speaking of, crime. And Vinci here is making a comment, and I guess it's a comment in relation to what the caller said, Dave. Vinci here is saying, if someone has a mind to kill, they will kill regardless of societal status or state of the economy. We make our own choices.
That is true.
But I still think to some extent we need to probably figure out what is it. Are these killings, are they retribution type killings? What's the origin of them? It's still not necessarily going to make any of it right. But we probably do need to know the reasons behind it.
It is necessary for the authorities to know the reasons for the killings so that they could come up with solutions to the problem and try to either curb it, to reduce it, or just tackle it head on. If it is a case where the killings are stemming from domestic abuse, all right, so we know we need to tackle domestic abuse. If it's a case where majority of the killings or some killings are coming from drugs, alcohol, okay, so then we need to tackle that. If it's conflict resolution or lack thereof, then okay, we need to come up with something to tackle that. That's I believe they have that information. Obviously, they have that information. Whether or not it's whether or not it's put in a presentable manner for the population, that's a question I'd have to get an answer to. You have a comment?
No, continue. Sorry.
So I really want
Okay.
to be hopeful.
Yeah, I do think that yes, our society has changed. Um Along with that, majority of these crimes are being committed by men. Now, how to say this?
We have a male crisis, point blank. Let's
Yeah.
continue.
There are times when I look around, right? You would see young men sitting, smoking, drinking. There is work within a community going on.
Mhm.
And very rarely would you see these young men, let's say, take the initiative to approach whoever, let's say a contractor, a house is being built,
Mhm.
approach the person in charge and ask to work. There are also instances where they come and they work, and I get the impression that they work for just enough money to buy rum. And well, I'm not even sure if they're buying weed because they might be planting the weed, right? And it makes me wonder with our young men, with certain young men, because we have the, I don't want to say outliers like Ari, but we do have in society men who are progressing in life. But then we also see that there are young men who we're not sure what's going on with them. What are their priorities? Um, are they feeding into this culture or this social media influence of branding out, of flashing money, of being in this and that event? You never see them walking anywhere, but they always have this and that. They always have money to splurge.
They're working online.
Right? OnlyFans?
I'm glad you say OnlyFans because the things that you say in a lot of women I see don't walk the way, but they in the latest this,
Let's go back.
latest that.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
But we're talking
But-
about
Let's
crime
go back.
here.
As it,
Okay, no, I think I know where you're going to go with that, but stop.
Okay. Okay. No.
All right, but no,
Let's go
back.
so before to finish it, right? So
Mhm.
this whole mentality of get rich and die trying, but the getting rich part doesn't have to do with an honest day's work. It doesn't have anything to do with me working hard day by day, trying to achieve this, to accomplish this or that. And I'm not necessarily going to say that social media on a whole is the main influence, because I think that you as a person, you looking at certain things, you would know the difference, right? But where are their priorities?
Sometimes it's, I think that is a part of it.
Let me just read something here because it's stemming from our interaction here. But a person is making a message. Interesting team dynamics. You agree to disagree on issues without conflict, which is unusual, right? Was the team created by accident or designed? So they're saying congrats to our
Divine intervention.
manager for not micromanaging. So yeah, so that's the point. But the reason why I read it is because of the fact that we have, the three of us may never always totally agree on topics.
I'm disagreeing with you right now.
Yeah, and Ari tends to disagree with me a lot. But the thing of it is that part of it goes back to conflict resolution, which even stems in the way in which we converse with each other, right? Ari could be getting his point across, and I refuse to pay attention or to take him on.
Yeah, so we should
Right, but
resort
the thing
to
of it
violence.
is-
And
That's
then
what
I'm
should
just
happen.
here.
But we don't resolve to violence.
We should do
you
it.
know?
We should.
We should. No, we shouldn't.
No,
but
I'm joking. I'm joking.
And ball advantage. You see the sides of me to you? All right.
Oh Lord.
What?
No. Just to be clear, right? For those who may not know the term choose violence, it's not a literal term, choose violence. It's just like being an instigator, just joking around. It's nothing
Yeah, it's
serious,
nothing serious.
right?
It's nothing serious.
It's something from our generation.
But,
That
let's go
that
back
we
to
don't take literally.
yeah, we
right?
do not
Don't
take
it literally.
this generation here don't take a lot of things serious. But anyways, if you look at the where we are right now, if we continue at this rate, and I always like to use the rate, if we continue at this rate, we're probably gonna hit like 55 if we keep at this
Gosh,
pace.
Crystal, no.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't even
Yeah,
want to
but we
hear
need
it.
to face the reality that although what you said, Release is true, there are a lot of people just sitting on the blocks doing nothing. Um, I feel like our population, there's a higher percentage male and female. So in a lot of things, you would see a higher percentage male involved. But
Statistically,
statistically,
except with starting small businesses. But let's go.
except starting small business. No, you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
And I really believe that with the crimes that we're seeing now, and I'm pretty sure the police have put out this information as well in the press conference they had after the quote unquote mass shooting a few months ago, if not
That was a
last
mass
month.
shooting, man.
Quote unquote, I was trying to
You know?
understand your reference.
Man, sorry, I not use some. Anyway, that's a whole
It
different
was a mass
conversation.
shooting. Yeah.
I was trying to be offensive with the quote unquote, by the way.
Mhm.
A lot of these crimes are surrounding the same persons. It's usually the same people involved. It's usually the same people involved in these crimes, and they're gang-related crimes. As said by the Simmons Police Force. So it's not even a case of these guys who are sitting down on blocks and not having any ambition, initiative. It's not even them in most cases. It's usually an outside element. And it's really unfortunate that these guys, whoever they are, cannot come to the conclusion that what they're doing is harming the society. Because look at the shooting.
I think you're asking for much.
I am asking for much, but we have to ask. Because the guy, the child who died was 13, 14.
I believe 14.
That's a problem. Regardless of whatever is going on. That is a problem. You can't be okay going to bed knowing that a child died in the crossfire of whatever disagreements you may have.
One person dying is a problem.
Yeah, one person dying is a problem.
One person dying
Nobody
is
should
a
be
problem.
killed. But the fact that there's no one innocent, and I don't know, but I believe children are innocent because there's always room to learn and there's always room to. I believe everybody there's room to change, but children specifically, they're still in
There's
their
still
learning
time, yeah.
stages. Yes.
Still time for them to
So
be
But you see,
otherwise influenced.
no, we understand that societies change with time. One of the issues I find is how we socialize our, let me say, youth, how we socialize our men, how we socialize our boys, sorry, how we socialize our girls. Now, there are some of these, I don't want to put the label of criminals on people, but there are some of these persons who get themselves involved in criminal activity who have a record as far back as youth, like primary school, some of them secondary school. There was a story the other day that got me so upset where the gentleman, the mother said the child was socialized in crime. And to me, what the mother was also saying is that she neglected to raise her child. I think the child wasn't a child at the time, but the gentleman in question was from Sharps. And I was saying that there are people who grew up in Sharps who came out doing well and not involved in crime. So in terms of parenting and how we socialize our children, especially the boys, some parents, mothers, fathers, I don't know the dynamics within the home, maybe that is one of the biggest problems we have, the breakdown in the family.
But then one of the other things too, I when you hear of persons being killed, and yes, you hear people saying it's somebody's son, and persons involved in gangs, etc., or criminal activities. When you hear of a close friend of yours dying, doesn't that cause you to stop and think and ask yourself, is it worth it? Is this life of crime worth it? Do I also want to become a statistic? So even in those instances, like at what point would you say that this isn't the road that I want to go down? Having witnessed for yourself persons around you just dying.
That takes a lot. That takes a lot for a person to get to that
But
point.
doesn't it make you frightened? Like like if you're hanging around
if
persons who are
if
just
you're
dropping
raised in
around
that,
money.
if you're raised in that, the
Mm.
quickest emotion for you is probably anger,
Mm.
and you want to get back at the person or persons who you think, believe, or know did this to hurt, because you are hurt.
Mhm.
The person you love has gone. You just want to make that person hurt too.
Mhm. But the thing of it is, where does it end?
Yeah,
Sometimes it doesn't end, and it
let's,
passes on to generation to
let's-
another generation.
let's take a pin in this discussion here. We're at the top of the hour,
Ready?
9 a.m., and it's time for your ECCB exchange rate. Sorry, currency exchange rate, sponsored by Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small.